Here's my shield of soy boy. No opinions shall get past this. Hello again, I am Blunty. Now, you might have heard about this little indie video game. It had a redhead as the protagonist, and she was fighting against a bunch of robot dinosaurs in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Well, not actually a wasteland, it was really lush. It was like post-apocalyptic, and, you know, humanity was starting to get on their feet again. But it was still full of robot dinosaurs and, you know, really, really gritty, hard sci-fi kind of stuff. Well, there's a sequel coming out, you might have heard about it, and a recent gameplay reveal has just been sort of released into the world as a sort of ramping up to the E3 thing that's happening really soon now, where a whole bunch of video game news gets around. And someone out on the interweb nets had what they call a hot take on what he thought of the new character model for the protagonist for this game. It is a pretty ridiculous hot take, and I did my own little jokey thing in response to it on Twitter and sort of included someone else's just on-point reaction to the ridiculousness of it as well. But let me read it out for you in case you managed to miss it. It is from someone who calls themselves, unironically you would imagine, Apex Alpha. Might give you a bit of a hint into the kind of thing we're going to be talking about here, considering someone who calls themselves Apex Alpha is a gamer and is talking about the physical presentation of a female protagonist in a big brand video game. Any guesses? Plus? Any hands up? Yes? Oh, lots of hands. Everyone who knows exactly the direction this is going. That's amazing. You're brilliant. I love you people. Subscribe, comment, etc. So, Apex, Mr. Alpha, in response to the new physical presentation of the protagonist, Aloy Ginger Biscuit, that's her canonical name if you haven't heard already, is it me, or is Sony making their lead female protagonist? You always got to be aware. These people always refer to women as females. Always makes me think of the Ferengi on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Every time they talk about a woman, they spit the word female. Females. It's always a big clue when they use that word. Look masculine as hell. Barely no curves or rough non-feminine features, unlike the average woman. Like cough cough, The Last of Us 2's Ellie. Just saying, hashtag my 2 cents. Pick from the game on the left, fan made on the right. So his idealized Aloy Ginger Biscuit is in full makeup, foundation, blush, eyeliner, mascara, threaded eyebrow. Am I using that term right? I don't know much about makeup and stuff. Can you tell? Threaded eyebrows and, you know, the whole Megillah. Like going out on the town, kind of going out for cocktails with the girls kind of get up here. This is in a post-apocalyptic world where small groups of humans fight daily for the opportunity to survive against a world filled with deadly robotic dinosaurs and other sort of some mammalian type. There was a saber-tooth thing as well. And you know what? It's fine if this person, this Mr. Alpha, doesn't like how she looks, doesn't find her physically attractive. That's not a prerequisite for connecting emotionally to a character's journey for a start. And if you think it is, then you have a lot more problems than I would give you credit for in the first place. Secondly, not everyone has to conform to your ideal stereotype of what is beautiful. Have you also noticed, and go look on Twitter for this, but pretty much everybody who is complaining about the way she looks, none of them have their own photograph as their Twitter icon, do they? Happy to judge other people's appearance, not so much happy to have other people judge their appearance in return, I suppose. And it's fine to believe that that is what a beautiful woman is. We all have our own tastes. I like women who look a little more sort of classically feminine, if you will. I like boys that look more classically feminine. Like that, you know, I think they're cuter like that than, I don't, you know, in other men, I don't find this cute. This, you know, broad-shouldered, beardy face. I mean, some beards can look cute, but in general, my personal tastes lie slightly on the more feminine side. But I don't insist every video character falls within my personal tastes just to find it enjoyable, or valid, or legitimate, or appropriate. So the issue here is not personal taste. The issue here is not even expressing personal taste. If he had just said, oh, I liked how she looked when she was younger, when she had slimmer face and everything, and oh, here's what she looked like, and she'd look really hot if she wore makeup, I think. But no, he went the other step further, and he was just like, you know, this is invalid, this is horrible. Why doesn't she look like the way I want her to look? And please, here's what a fan did. Here's a fan imagining of what she would look like in makeup, and if she had a slightly slimmer face. Hire fans, because this is how she should look in this video game. That's the point in which he spiraled into, not just expressing personal taste, these are my opinions, my hashtag my 2 cents, into horrible toxic masculinity territory. And if you think his reaction to everybody coming back at him and mocking him for this, rightly so, mocking him doesn't really help. I know I've been doing it, but I'm going to talk about that in a second. But, you know, everyone dogpiling on, because this did go a bit violent. So everybody started dogpiling on. And instead of thinking about the way he expressed himself, guess what? He did the classic toxic masculinity thing in response. He did it the classic trilogy of, ha ha ha, you guys are so triggered. LOL, it's so funny. This is better than TV. Oh ha ha, it's so hilarious. I'm laughing at you. You're not laughing at me. I know it seems like you're laughing at me, but I'm actually laughing at you because ha ha ha, so triggered. And then of course you got the thing where he claims everybody who doesn't agree with him is a beta male. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if I went further through his timeline and searched a little bit here. I would find the phrase "soy boy" somewhere in there as well, because that's another one of these classic phrases these types of people love to use to disparage and diminish the masculinity of other men they don't think are masculine enough. Probably also find the word "cuck" in there as well. That's another favorite. And then of course you get the defensive tweet where he just has to mention, you know, just offhand that, oh, my woman, so and so and so and so. If this person does in fact have an woman, I kind of feel a bit sorry for her. I'm not saying this to be mean or anything, but I can't imagine that would be a particularly healthy relationship. But reacting to this person the way that everyone basically has, and just mocking him, make fun of him, and sort of point and laugh at him, it's not going to help. Because people like this, when you do that to them, especially when it gets mob justicey, you know, you get the tidal wave of hundreds of randos online just going, ha ha ha, your opinion is stupid, you're stupid, and here's all the way in which you are stupid. That's not going to help them actually change. So that's the issue. Our impulse is to mock him, as in fact mine was. And I had been throughout this entire video, but that's not helpful. So the question becomes, how do we help these people become more comfortable with their own masculinity? Because that's the problem. It's the externalization of how they feel about masculinity, and what masculinity should be, and what femininity should be, and whether or not it's okay to be outside of those rules, those expectations. You go out in the world and there's all kinds of people, and I'm not even talking about the spectrum of sexuality or the spectrum of gender expression or anything like that. I'm just talking about different people. Short, tall, fat, thin, light skin, dark skin, everything in between, the whole spectrum of humanity. But yeah, the real question is, how do you get people like this to listen, to start to self-examine a little bit, to break down how they feel about certain things and whether or not they're expressing that in the right way? Because again, feeling this way is perfectly valid. We all have our personal taste when it comes to what is attractive. But how you externalize that against other people, and what you say to other people, even fictional people, that can be toxic. That can be damaging. Damaging to yourself, damaging to the way other people react to you, damaging to your interpersonal relationships, damaging to your relationships with randos online you're trying to have a chatty time with about an video game. So learning how to have a back and forth, and the appropriate ways and the healthy ways to express a back and forth about your personal tastes and what you would like to see in the game versus what is in the game versus, who gets to say what should have been done in the game. I, for one, say, you know what, if she was in full makeup the whole time, it would be kind of unrealistic and would pull me away from the immersion of said game, of being in a post-apocalyptic lush land fighting robotic dinosaurs. As immersive as you can be in that, I think watching my character run around with cat-sized mascara and smoky eyeshadow. I really don't know much about makeup. Eyeshadow. That would just seem weird to me. But I honestly don't know how to talk to these people about this. I've given up. I've honestly given up. Every time I get this kind of comment, maybe not this specific kind of comment, but this general gist of comment where there is just no point in arguing with these people, because the only thing that's going to happen is the instant you try and present a counterpoint, they'll say, that's a really dumb way to express your opinion because of this, they're going to get their back up. They're going to call you a soy boy or a cuck or a beta male or an SJW or, you know, any of these grab bag of handy dandy terms. They can just go, I don't need to listen to your opinion. SJW. Here's my shield of soy boy. No opinion shall get past this. Because they're not open to talking about it. So how do you talk about it? Like I said, I've given up these days. I just literally delete the comment because I don't want other people to try and engage, because I know exactly the way this argument is going to go back and forth. And it's the same every damn time. It is just the cyclical ugliness of raging back and forth at one another. And I don't want to encourage it. So I delete the original comment. Job done. They've said what they wanted to say to me on my video. I've read it. I read all my comments. Fine. No one else needs to see that. I don't want to engage with that because I know what's going to happen. I don't want anybody else to engage with it because I know what's going to happen. So it's gone. So I've given up trying to figure out how to talk to these people. Do you have any ideas? How do you get these people to self-examine a little bit about what they're saying and how they're saying it and who they're saying it to and why they are saying it? Because that's the root of it. That's the seed of it. That's the stem of it. That's whatever metaphor you like. That's the trickle in the mountain that becomes the great river of toxic masculinity at the other end as it pours into the ocean of humanity, feminism. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And I hate saying that at the end of the videos, you know I do, but I'm honestly asking. I'm not one of those YouTubers who goes, let me know what you think, just so you would comment and stuff, because, quite frankly, most of you would have already commented already. But I am genuinely interested. What do you think? How do we get through to these people? What is the best way to approach this that they are going to listen and not just instantly get their soy shield up? Because I have no idea. I've tried for years and I gave up. Thank you for watching. I am Blunty. I will catch you next time. I do hope you've enjoyed this incredibly rambling video. Hopefully I can cut it down into something useful. Thank you, as always, to the patrons scrolling up above there.